Hello and a very warm welcome to all our viewers. I'm Neha Bhan. Let's take a look at some of the top national and international stories of this hour. We begin with the India-Canada standoff. Now, pro-Khalistani elements organized protests outside India's diplomatic missions, marking the second week after Prime Minister Justin Trudeau made allegations suggesting a potential link between New Delhi and the murder of Khalistani terrorist Hardeep Singh Nijjar. Approximately 100 protesters in Toronto burned an Indian flag and used a cardboard cutout of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi in a derogatory manner. In Vancouver, around 200 protesters gathered outside the consulate to demonstrate against India, to stage a protest against India. Now, of course, remember that protests were also observed in Ottawa, where individuals waved yellow flags bearing the word Khalistan. These protests underscore the ongoing tensions and concerns in the India-Canada relations. Do remember that tensions between India and Canada have only escalated further following Canada's acquisition of Indian involvement in the killing of Khalistani terrorist Nijjar. In fact, India has also announced the cancellation of visas for Canadians, and Canada today also, in fact just yesterday, has issued advisory to its citizens asking them to be cautious in view of the current, in fact, deteriorating ties between the two countries. Meanwhile, Justin Trudeau seems to be getting isolated on global platform with each passing day. In this context, Sri Lankan Finance Minister, while reacting on the India-Canada row, said that Canada is safe haven for terrorists. There is a very powerful statement coming in from the Sri Lankan Finance Minister, where he said that Canada is slowly becoming a safe haven for terrorists. Listen in.
Yeah, we have always suffered, and some of the terrorists have found safe haven in Canada. Canadian Prime Minister has this way of just coming out with some outrageous allegations without any supporting proof. The same thing they did for Sri Lanka, a terrible, total lie about saying that Sri Lanka had a genocide. Everybody knows there was no genocide in our country. And I saw yesterday he had gone and given a rousing welcome to somebody who have associated with the Nazis in the past on the Second World War. So this is questionable, and we have dealt it in the past. We have categorically rejected those outrageous allegations. So I'm not surprised that sometime Prime Minister Trudeau comes out with outrageous, unsubstantiated allegations. Yeah, that has actually affected our relationship. People to people, we have good contact. Foreign Ministry has a different take on that. Ministry of Global Affairs has very clearly said that Sri Lanka did not go through a genocide. Whereas the Prime Minister, as a politician, stand up and says that genocide had taken place. That itself is contradictory to each other. That doesn't help. I don't think anyone should poke into their nose into the other countries and tell as to how we should govern our country. Yeah, that's a conversation going on for some period of time. India has expressed its concerns for a long period of time. But we have now come out with a SOP, standard operating procedure. When we were making that, we consulted many of our friends, including India. So as long as that comply with the SOP, we have no problem. But if it doesn't comply with the SOP, we have a problem. So therefore, as far as I know, we have not given the permission to come to Sri Lanka during the month of October. So there are negotiations going on, but Indian security concerns, which are legitimate, are very, very important for us. We have always told that because we want to keep our region as a zone of peace.
It's not only
cannot make any comment, but we believe, we are very proud of India because they don't do immature things. We have a very solid relationship with India, and these are based on values and principles. So this is a sad episode. I hope this should end up amicably.
The United States, which has been putting pressure on India by urging cooperation with Canada in the investigation into the killing of Khalistani terrorist Hardeep Singh Nijjar, meanwhile claimed that it cares deeply for its relationship with both Canada and India. US Ambassador to India, Eric Garcetti's comments come in the backdrop of heightened tensions between India and Canada. Listen in.
We care about both countries and we care about their relationship. Our relationship is rock solid with both of them. And I think that all of us need to make sure that we can come together as countries that take seriously sovereignty, take seriously security, and take seriously the potential of our relationship. But as you see here demonstrated, US and India are definitely stronger together.
What I will say is we are deeply concerned by the allegations referenced by Prime Minister Trudeau. We remain in close contact with our Canadian partners, as the Secretary said on Friday. We believe it's critical that Canada's investigation proceed and that the perpetrators be brought to justice. And we have publicly and privately urged the Indian government to cooperate in the Canadian investigation.
Do remember, in fact, the United States has been expressing its concern regarding the latest development vis-a-vis the India-Canada row and has also called on India to cooperate in the investigation. The US has emphasized that the development is a matter of concern, and in the meantime, there was a massive, in fact, explosive report that was published in the New York Times yesterday, which suggested that the country which provided the so-called intelligence to Canada is, in fact, none other than the United States itself. It is the US, according to NYT, which provided intelligence to Canada about Nijjar's murder. And ever since Justin Trudeau, in fact, has accused India's involvement, has in fact made an acquisition about India's involvement in the killing of Khalistani terrorist Nijjar, a lot of developments have taken place. The relationship between both the countries has only deteriorated. And there you have it, the pro-Khalistani elements right on your screen staging a protest. They've also burnt Indian flag, raised slogans against Prime Minister Modi, against the Indian government. And all of these anti-India elements, all of these pro-Khalistani elements are given shelter in Trudeau's Canada. Trudeau has been quite, in fact, blatantly giving support to these elements and saying, in fact, that asking India for seeking answers from India and for its cooperation, and also declining to share the evidence related to Trudeau's quote-unquote credible allegations. The US has played a very important role in this entire ongoing, in fact, the various developments that we're getting to witness in connection with the case, in connection with the India-Canada row. There, the US time and again has come forward and said that has called on India to cooperate in the investigation, and now the report coming in fact, in the New York Times, stating that it was in fact the US that has given intelligence to Canada, to Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. On one side, the United States wants India to believe that it is a friend and not a foe, and on the other side, indulging in these acts. This only makes everyone question the true intentions of the United States of America. United States President Joe Biden and other Western leaders reportedly expressed their concern with Prime Minister Narendra Modi at, in fact, the G20 summit. Now, this was about Canadian claims that New Delhi was involved in the murder of a Khalistani terrorist in Vancouver. This reportedly happened at the G20 summit, which took place a couple of, in fact, just this month. Earlier this month. Now, this is what the Financial Times has reported. And according to the Financial Times, several members of the Five Eyes, which includes the US, UK, Canada, Australia and New Zealand, raised the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The FT report states, and I quote, "One said Biden felt it was important to address the issue directly with his Indian counterpart. The White House declined to comment on whether Biden had discussed the issue with Prime Minister Modi at the G20. Now, the leaders also intervened at the G20 summit after Canada urged its allies to raise the case directly with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This is what two people who are familiar with the situation told, the Financial Times. And they also added that Ottawa asked them to mention the claims in private. Now here, interestingly, there has been no official word from New Delhi, from the Indian government on this report after the meeting, and there are absolutely no readouts of the meeting which mention that any such conversation took place between United States President Joe Biden and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Switching our focus now, the latest update on the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine. Ukraine's special forces reported on Monday that they had carried out a missile attack last week on the headquarters of Russia's Black Sea Fleet, in fact in Crimea, resulting in the deaths of Moscow's top admiral in Crimea and 33 other officers. The attack also wounded 105 individuals. The Russian Defense Ministry has not yet confirmed or denied these reports. Now, that's something to look forward to, that Russia is yet to respond to the, in fact, big claims they're made by Ukraine. The Russian Defense Ministry has not yet confirmed or denied these reports. This strike, if verified, would represent a significant blow to Russia in Crimea, a region it annexed from Ukraine in the year 2014. Now, it's important to note that both sides in the conflict, in fact, have sometimes exaggerated enemy losses and been reticent about disclosing their own. Ukraine, of course, has been increasing its attack in the Black Sea region and on the Crimean Peninsula, incorporating missiles alongside assault drones. They have stated that destroying the Russian Black Sea fleet would expedite the end of the ongoing war. Now, of course, as a response to the recent Ukrainian attacks, the Russian-installed governor of the city held a meeting to enhance defense and attack warning systems, acknowledging the need for a systematic response to the evolving threat landscape. Well, the big show at 10 p.m. today, duologue TV9's MD and CEO Barun Das in candid conversation with former Indian cricketer Mithali Raj. Take a look.
What happened on 8th June 2022? Sportsperson like Sania Mirza or Saina Nehwal, they get written about more than the women's cricketer.
Journalist, for some reason, doesn't like an athlete. The narrative is very different.
Don't you think that a very, very focused approach should be there to create an ecosystem for producing champions?
There are also some girls, they say like, Didi, school में तो कोई नहीं है हमारा, हम खेलना चाहते हैं लेकिन boys team में लेते नहीं है.
In the huddle, do you tell your team members that let's go and fight, or you tell them let's go and win?
The purpose of you being in the tournament, that you've come to win.
Duologue with Barun Das featuring Mithali Raj. World premiere on Connected TV. Tonight at 10. Only on News9 Live, India's first and only digital exclusive English news stream for Connected TV. Supported by Alliance Broadband.
Welcome back. In the run-up to the upcoming assembly polls in Madhya Pradesh, the Bharatiya Janata Party has announced its second list of candidates, including 3 central ministers and several members of parliament. Among the prominent figures in this list are Union Minister for Agriculture Narendra Singh Tomar, who will contest from Dimani, and Prahlad Patel, Minister of State for Food Processing, who will contest from Narsinghpur. The decision to field senior leaders who hold ministerial positions in the Union Council of Ministers and lawmakers is a strategic move by the party's high command to bolster its chances in the elections. According to a party official, now Faggan Singh, Minister of State for Rural Development, will also participate in the elections from Nivas, a seat reserved for scheduled tribes. There are several MPs including Ganesh Singh, Rakesh Singh, Riti Pathak and National General Secretary Kailash Vijayvargiya have been nominated to contest. Hoshangabad MP Uday Pratap Singh will be running from Gadarwara. The second list comprises 39 candidates, including 6 women. It covers 5 seats reserved for scheduled castes and 10 seats reserved for scheduled tribes. The BJP also had previously announced its first list of 39 candidates in August. Party leaders and ministers, including those who are members of the Rajya Sabha, have been informed to prepare for the elections as per party insiders. The BJP aims to counter anti-incumbency sentiments and address concerns related to caste balance by fielding senior ministers and lawmakers in the polls. There, of course, it does appear that the decision to field senior leaders, especially the Union Council of, in fact, those who hold ministerial positions in the Union Council of Ministers, is a strategic move by the party's high command to bolster its chances in the elections, to enhance its chances in the elections. Do remember, if we have to take a look at what exactly happened during the 2018 elections, in 2018 elections, in fact, it was the BJP that lost the elections to the Congress. The Congress came to power. Kamal Nath was sworn in as the chief minister. But later in 2020, due to the rebellion that was started by Jyotiraditya Scindia, now Union Civil Aviation Minister, the Congress government, in fact, had to go in Madhya Pradesh, and it was Shivraj Singh Chauhan who was sworn in as the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh again. But then now, cut to 2023, another election year in Madhya Pradesh. There is a lot going on, especially for the BJP, given that there have been various poll agencies, various political pundits who have been covering Madhya Pradesh, who are of the view that BJP, in fact, is going to face a tough time in coming to power in states like Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. But speaking only about Madhya Pradesh, there are a lot of factors that perhaps would go in favor of the Congress party, and the majority, if we have to just speak about two factors, one of them would include the anti-incumbency and of course the fact that Kamal Nath, in fact, there seems to be a sympathy wave that's been ongoing in the state in favor of Kamal Nath. Will BJP be able to shift the wind in its favor? That's something that remains to be seen. Moving on now, Bengaluru and other parts of Karnataka are seeing mixed response to the Bandh call given by farmer bodies, Kannada organizations and opposition parties. The Bandh was called to protest against the release of water from the Cauvery river in Karnataka to neighbouring Tamil Nadu. Schools and colleges in Bengaluru have been shut along with eateries and restaurants. Section 144 has been imposed in the city, under which gatherings of more than 5 people will not be permitted. Since there was no consensus for the Bandh between farmer organizations and pro-Kannada organizations, the farmers have called for a Bandh today, while the pro-Kannada activists, in fact, have called for a Bandh on the 29th. It appears that these organizations have failed to reach to a consensus, due to which farmers have given a Bandh call for today, but the pro-Kannada organizations, primarily led by Vatal Nagaraj, have in fact given a Bandh call on the 29th of this month. Now, few of the farmer activists have been arrested and moved out as Section 144 is in place.
ಬಂದ್ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು, ಆಷಾಢ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು, ಮೆರವಣಿಗೆ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ ಇದೆ. ಬಂದ್ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನೋದೇ ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್. ಬಟ್ ನಾವೇನೋ ಅಡ್ಡಿಪಡಿಸಕ್ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ಕಾವೇರಿ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಅನ್ನ ರಾಜಕೀಯಗೊಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ರಾಜಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರನೇ ಹೊರತು ಜನರ ಹಿತದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದಾಗಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ನಾಡಿನ ಹಿತದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದಾಗಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ನಾವು ಬಂದ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಬಂದ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಜಾಪ್ರಭುತ್ವದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಅವಕಾಶ ಇದೆ. ಆದರೆ ಕೋರ್ಟು ಯಾವುದೇ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ, ಸಭೆಗಳನ್ನ ನಡೆಸಬಾರದು, ಪ್ರತಿಭಟನೆ ಮಾಡಬಾರದು.
ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನ ನಾಗರಿಕರಿಗೆ, ಸಂಘಟನೆಗಾರರಿಗೆ ಅಭಿನಂದಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಬಹಳ ಶಾಂತಿಯುತವಾಗಿ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಇದೆ. ಪ್ರತಿಭಟನೆ ಮಾಡೋರಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮದೇನು ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅವರ ಧ್ವನಿ ಹೋರಾಟ ನಾವು ಯಾರು ಕೂಡ ಮಟ್ಟ ಹಾಕೋಕ್ಕೆ ನಮಗೆ ತಯಾರಿಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಹಕಾರನ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ರಾಜ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಗೌರವನು ಕೂಡ ಕಾಪಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಂಘಟನೆಗಾರರಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಅಭಿನಂದಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. 12,500 ಅವ್ರು ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ನಾವು ಬಿಡಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಆಗಲ್ಲ. 5,000ನೇ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ, ಇನ್ನು 12,000ಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ನಾವು ನಮ್ದು ಅಪೀಲ್ ಅಂತೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ, 5,000 ಬಿಡಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ.
The government of Siddaramaiah, D.K. Shivkumar released water without consulting any party, did not have any all-party consultation, did not consult the farmers, and they released water under the pressure of DMK. As you know, DMK and Congress cannot survive without the DMK in Tamil Nadu, and Congress had succumbed to the pressures of DMK and the IND-UPA coalition. The BJP in Karnataka has made it very clear that we will stand firm on the rights of our farmers, rights of our citizens of Karnataka, and we will not allow any coalition politics or any opportunistic politics to come in the way of the interest of the people of Karnataka.
Now we are thinking about drinking water. We are fighting about drinking water. So before last 4-5 years back, Supreme Court judgment, you see, very important issue. Drinking water is a very important. Whichever government taken, very important issue, drinking water, essential. So that we are demanding for the same, our Karnataka people, our Bengaluru people, so that we are declaring the month.
Shifting our focus to Punjab now, a big political development has taken place in Punjab. In fact, Congress leader Pratap Bajwa has made a big claim. He says that 32 Aam Aadmi Party MLAs in Punjab are in touch with him. The Congress party has got 18 of its own MLAs and the party needs to put in a little more effort in order to form the government, is what he says. And he also added that we will contest, the Congress party in fact will contest separately on 13 Lok Sabha seats. Bajwa also said that after the Lok Sabha results, the Aam Aadmi Party government in Punjab will not last for more than 2 months. Listen in.
देखो गल इस तरह है, पंजाब कंप्लीटली करजाई हो चुके हैं, कोई रस्ता होर नहीं इन्हां नूं बाहर दा राह विखांदा ते डेमोक्रेसी दे विच लोक राज दे विच इलैक्शन आने वालियां 7-8 महीनों नूं पार्लीमेंट। मेरी अपील है समूह पंजाबियों नूं, हर वर्ग नूं, भावें सिख है, भावें हिंदू है, भावें मुस्लिम है, भावें ईसाई है, भावें साडा दलित वर्ग है, भावें साडियां पछड़ियां श्रेणियां, साडियां भैणां ने, टाइम है 13 दियां 13 सीटां कांग्रेस ने लड़नियां ने, साडा समर्थन दो। 13 सीटां ते जित्ती है, मैं तुहानूं यकीन दिवाना है सरकार उस तो बाद 13 सीटां जे तुसीं सानूं जिताओगे 2 महीना तो वध नहीं कटेगी, क्योंकि मिनिमम 32 बंदे मौजूदा जिहड़ी आप दी सरकार दे MLA ने मेरे नाल टच ने, 32 आदमी, 18 साडे कोल नेड़े दे काम पहुंच गया, थोड़ा जिहा लाहौर मारना चित करके छोड़।
The big show at 10 p.m. today, duologue TV9 MD and CEO Barun Das will be in candid conversation with former Indian cricketer Mithali Raj. Listen in.
What happened on 8th June 2022? Sportsperson like Sania Mirza or Saina Nehwal, they get written about more than the women's cricketer.
Journalist for some reason doesn't like an athlete. The narrative is very different.
Don't you think that a very, very focused approach should be there to create an ecosystem for producing champions?
There are also some girls, they say like, Didi, school में तो कोई नहीं है हमारा, हम खेलना चाहते हैं लेकिन boys team में लेते नहीं है.
In the huddle, do you tell your team members that let's go and fight, or you tell them let's go and win?
The purpose of you being in the tournament, that you've come to win.
Duologue with Barun Das featuring Mithali Raj. World premiere on Connected TV. Tonight at 10. Only on Newsline Live. India's first and only digital exclusive English news stream for Connected TV. Supported by Alliance Broadband.
Welcome back. Disturbing images of 2 missing Manipuri students identified as Hijam and Fijam have surfaced on social media. Now one depicts their lifeless bodies while the other shows them in a state of fear, accompanied by armed individuals. The Manipur Chief Minister's office has confirmed their identities and is collaborating with the CBI and state agencies for a thorough investigation into their kidnapping and murder. The state government has assured that a strict action would be taken against those who are behind, in fact, such heinous act. The pictures dated 8th of July have gone viral since the restoration of internet services in the state on the 23rd of September, sparking outrage. Both students were from the Meitei community. Their things are not going to get easy for either of the communities, given that both of these students belong to a particular community, and in fact the Meitei community and the Kuki community are engaged in an ethnic conflict since the 3rd of May this year. There has been a lot of bloodshed that Manipur has already witnessed. Over 150 people have lost their lives. Many people have been injured in the ethnic violence, which in fact has gripped this tiny northeastern state of India. It is very saddening to see that the situation in Manipur is getting out of hand with each passing day. More than 150 people have lost their lives and over 3,000 people are said to have been injured since this ethnic violence broke out when a tribal solidarity march was organized in the hill districts to protest against the Meitei community's demand for scheduled tribe status on the 3rd of May. Around 40,000 central security personnel besides the Manipur police were deployed to control the violence and bring back normalcy in the state. On Sunday, the Uttarakhand government released reports concerning the land subsidence crisis in Joshimath, now a sinking hill town. These reports have prompted the government to impose a construction ban in Joshimath and enhance awareness of geo-climate conditions in the town, among other suggestions. In January of this year, the state government established committees and initiated investigations to identify the causes of the sinking terrain. However, the reports generated by 8 central agencies were not disclosed until the Uttarakhand High Court intervened on the 20th of September. The CSIR, which stands for Central Building Research Institute, Roorkee, collaborating with the National Disaster Management Authority, here now proposed the creation of a disaster resilient model town to accommodate people displaced from Joshimath. The report emphasized the necessity to reevaluate town planning principles for development in hilly regions with a focus on promoting sound construction practices, using appropriate materials, establishing regulatory mechanisms and increasing awareness among stakeholders regarding geotechnical and geoclimatic conditions. The Uttarakhand government has now, in fact, released reports on Joshimath and has recommended to include construction ban. This is concerning the land subsidence crisis in Joshimath, which at this point in time looks like a sinking hill town. Right on your screens, you can see the visuals. Massive cracks, in fact, have been developed there in the houses. Joshimath has remained in the news in this year. In fact, now these reports have now prompted the government to impose a construction ban and enhance awareness of geoclimatic conditions in the town, among other suggestions. Kerala's second Vande Bharat Express began its regular service and is fully reserved for almost all days until the 2nd of October. Kerala's latest Vande Bharat Express was virtually flagged off by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the 24th of September. As per the schedule drawn by the Southern Railways, the train would leave Kasaragod every year except Tuesday at 7 a.m. and reach Thiruvananthapuram at 3:05 p.m. In the return journey, the train would leave Thiruvananthapuram Central at 4:05 p.m. and reach Kasaragod at 11:58 p.m. The fare from Kasaragod to Thiruvananthapuram on the new VB Express is 1,555 in chair car class and 2,835 in the executive class. The Vande Bharat Express was in fact inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi just a few days back, and it is already fully reserved for almost all days until the 2nd of October. Now, the train would leave Kasaragod every day except Tuesday at 7 a.m. and would reach its destination, which is Thiruvananthapuram, at 3:05 p.m. And if speaking about the return journey, the train would leave Thiruvananthapuram Central at 4:05 p.m. and reach Kasaragod at 11:58 p.m. For those who want to know what is going to be the fare like, well, the fare from Kasaragod to Thiruvananthapuram on the new Vande Bharat Express is 1,555 rupees in chair car class and 2,835 in the executive class. Moving on to some political developments coming in from Telangana now. BJP in Telangana is grappling with discontent, and there is a possibility that Komati Reddy Rajagopal Reddy could leave the party. The Congress is potentially gaining an advantage with a detailed list of constituencies for reference, making defections a significant concern for the BJP. Figures like Tumalla Nageshwar Rao, Srinivas Reddy, Jupalli Krishna Rao and in fact Hanumantha Rao appear to be boosting the morale of the Congress as they approach the upcoming assembly elections. Not a very good news for the BJP after the AIA-DMK staged about, in fact, just quit the alliance with the BJP. It appears more trouble is in the offing for the BJP in Telangana, as the BJP unit seems to be grappling with discontent. There is a possibility that the important BJP personality here, in fact, Komati Reddy Rajagopal Reddy, could leave the party. There is no confirmation on it yet, but the political insiders are of the view that this jolt may soon hit the party. The Congress is potentially gaining an advantage with a detailed list of constituencies for reference, making defections a significant concern for the BJP. As the state inches closer to the elections, this is quite a common occurrence that we've seen leaders. In fact, elections is often touted to be a season for migratory birds. There are a lot of people that hop on from parties to parties, but here clearly not a very good news for the BJP, given that an important leader, Komati Reddy Rajagopal Reddy, may leave the party. Also, in a significant development, the Telangana branch of the Bharatiya Janata Party has announced that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is scheduled to address a public gathering in Mahbubnagar, Telangana on the 30th of September. Now, this gathering will take place at 1 p.m. on the ITI ground in Bhuthpur, Mahbubnagar, as revealed by G. Parmender Reddy, the state BJP General Secretary, in a recent press statement. This public event gains particular importance as it draws closer to the upcoming state elections later this year. Initially planning a bus yatra, the state BJP leadership has changed their strategy, opting for public meetings across different assembly segments. The party is now gearing up to finalize its candidates for the 119 constituencies, intending to do so in 3 phases. Interestingly, the BJP leaders assert that the overwhelming number of applications they've received from prospective candidates is a testament to the party's substantial support among the populace. However, despite this enthusiasm, the party has yet to establish a state election committee to vet the candidates and make recommendations to the central leadership. Now, as part of its election preparations, the Saffron Party is also planning to organize public gatherings which will feature Union Home Minister Amit Shah and BJP President JP Nadda as speakers. These gatherings are expected to, in fact, cover various districts of the state. The big show at 10 p.m. today, Duologue TV9's MD and CEO Barun Das will be in a candid conversation with former Indian cricketer Mithali Raj. Listen in.
What happened on 8th June 2022? Sportsperson like Sania Mirza or Saina Nehwal, they get written about more than the women's cricketer.
Journalist for some reason doesn't like an athlete. The narrative is very different.
Don't you think that a very, very focused approach should be there to create an ecosystem for producing champions?
There are also some girls, they say like, Didi, school में तो कोई नहीं है हमारा, हम खेलना चाहते हैं लेकिन boys team में लेते नहीं है.
In the huddle, do you tell your team members that let's go and fight, or you tell them let's go and win?
The purpose of you being in the tournament, that you've come to win.
Duologue with Barun Das featuring Mithali Raj. World premiere on Connected TV. Tonight at 10. Only on News9 Live. India's first and only digital exclusive English news stream for Connected TV. Supported by Alliance Broadband.
Welcome back. Heavy rains have struck parts of Tamil Nadu's Vellore district, leading to the suspension of classes for students in the grades 1 to 5th in Vellore and Ranipat district schools. The Indian Meteorological Department, Chennai, has reported that Tamil Nadu and Puducherry are expected to experience rainfall over the next week due to a cyclonic circulation in north coastal Tamil Nadu and surrounding areas. IMD Chennai predicts light to moderate rain with thunderstorms and lightning in select areas of Tamil Nadu, Puducherry and Karaikal. Last year, Tamil Nadu saw 45% excess rainfall, but this year has only experienced a 7% surplus so far. The northeast monsoon is set to begin in Tamil Nadu on the 18th of October with expectations of below average rainfall. There are now heavy rains lashing parts of Vellore district and classes for 1 to 5 have been suspended in Vellore and Ranipat of Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu this year, last year in fact saw just 45% excess rainfall, but this year has only experienced a 7% surplus. The northeast monsoon is set to begin in Tamil Nadu on the 18th of October. Heavy rains lashing parts of Tamil Nadu, commuters facing the brunt while the authorities are on the job to tackle the situation. Moving on now, the Indian government is planning to introduce provisions in the Digital India Bill that would hold companies accountable for unsolicited commercial email and other electronic messages, addressing the issue of spam. This move comes as spam accounts for nearly half of all global emails. The provisions are expected to include penalties for violations and may extend to communications sent over WhatsApp. While the government, in fact, is studying international laws, it acknowledges that effective enforcement will be crucial in deterring spam. Filtering technologies have been the most effective means of combating spam so far. Recent assessments by cybersecurity companies reveal that spam constitutes nearly half of all emails sent globally. In 1998, spam accounted for just 10% of all emails, but improvements in spam filtering technologies led to a decline in the early 2010s. However, the problem has researched with cybersecurity firm Kaspersky, reporting that 48.63% of all emails sent in 2022 were spam. The proposed legislation aims to clearly define the category of spam, potentially including communications sent over WhatsApp. The law is still in the draft stage and will undergo public consultation. The government is studying laws from other countries, including Australia's Spam Act of 2003, which in fact, like similar laws in the United States and Canada, has struggled to effectively combat spam. The experts have welcomed the introduction of legal provisions to penalize spam, but emphasize that enforcements will be critical. In fact, demonstrable enforcement is essential to ensure deterrences against spam, as laws alone have proven insufficient across jurisdictions. Veteran Bollywood actress Waheeda Rehman will be conferred with the prestigious Dada Saheb Phalke Lifetime Achievement Award this year. Fact has confirmed the same today. Further details on this development are awaited. In her career spanning decades, Waheeda Rehman has delivered memorable performances in hits like Saheb, Biwi or Gulam, Guide, Teesri Manzil, Ram aur Sham and Kabhi Kabhi among others. She received the prestigious national award for her performance in 1971 release Resha aur Shera, co-starring Sunil Dutt. Waheeda Rehman was conferred with the Padma Shri in 1972 and was a recipient of the prestigious Padma Bhushan in 2001.
साल है और मैं अपने आप को बहुत लकी समझती हूँ क्योंकि
Amidst the evolving political landscape in Bihar, Chief Minister Nitish Kumar's potential return to the NDA, the National Democratic Alliance, has become a topic of intense discussion. A significant development in this regard occurred when Pashupati Paras, president of the Rashtriya Lok Janshakti Party and Union Minister, made a noteworthy statement. Now, during a recent interaction with the media, Pashupati Paras was asked about the possibility of Nitish Kumar rejoining the NDA ahead of the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. In response, Paras stated if Nitish wants to join, then he is welcome. This statement by Union Minister Pashupati Paras has fueled speculation and added a new dimension to Bihar's political landscape. While it has also stirred discussions among political circles, Nitish Kumar himself has categorically refuted any such speculation about his political affiliation. The subtle invitation extended by Paras to Nitish Kumar to rejoin the NDA underscores the evolving dynamic within Bihar's political scenario. It highlights the significance of alliances and political realignments in the run-up to the upcoming Lok Sabha elections. Interestingly, Nitish Kumar is the main reason for the idea that is called India now, the India alliance that took shape. Interestingly, in fact, Nitish Kumar is known to hop on from one party to the another. Earlier, he had joined hands with the RJD, then he quit RJD, joined hands with the BJP, then he quit the BJP, quit an alliance with the BJP in fact, and again joined hands with RJD. And now there is speculation that in fact he may return to the NDA fold. Of course, anything can happen in politics. Let's listen in to what, in fact, to several of the reactions that are coming in.
अरे भाई देखिए एक बात जान लीजिए आप, व्यक्ति बलवान नहीं होता, समय बलवान होता है। समय का इंतजार करिए, क्या रुपेंद्र जी, समय का इंतजार कीजिए, जो भी होगा वो अच्छा होगा।
Moving on, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar met his UAE counterpart Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan on the sidelines of the 78th United Nations General Assembly session in New York City. The two ministers were happy with the rapid progress in India-UAE bilateral ties and valued regular exchange of opinions on regional and global issues. UAE and India, along with Saudi Arabia, the US and European Union had recently announced an ambitious infrastructure plan. The India-Middle East-Europe Economic Corridor is expected to surpass the Belt and Road Initiative of China. Now, this initiative, launched at the G20 summit in New Delhi, seeks to reshape the trade route between the Gulf, Europe and South Asia. The infrastructure is expected to be an amalgamation of rail, road and sea links. US Army's Chief of Staff General Randy George said the partnership between the US and the Indian Army is vital for stability in the Indo-Pacific, and the relationship between the armies is strong and growing stronger. General George, along with 17 other army chiefs, have arrived in New Delhi to attend the Indo-Pacific Army Chiefs Conference. The gathering is notably the largest conference for land forces in the region.
The theme of IPAC this year is Together for Peace, Sustaining Peace and Security in the Indo-Pacific region, and that theme is a perfect choice. Strength and security are the foundations of the peace that all of our nations seek. The role of our armies is to hone our skills together. I know that as we train and learn together, our confidence in one another grows as well. And that confidence leads to unity and collective commitment across the region, and that unity and commitment are the best deterrents in the region as well. We do face a challenging strategic environment, but this is nothing new. We've overcome challenges in the past, and we'll overcome them together in the future. To ensure that the Army, the U.S. Army, remains ready today and into the future, we and the Army are focusing on 4 areas. The first is warfighting. The second is delivering ready combat formations. The third is continuous transformation. And the fourth is strengthening our profession. Together, these 4 focus areas are a framework for action inside of our formation. And I think that there are opportunities in each area for us to work together.
Moving on now, a surprise search planned by the anti-narcotics squad of the Kottayam police led to a shocking revelation at the house of a man. The suspected drug dealer had trained his dog to bite anyone wearing khaki attire. The presence of the dogs hindered the search process and also enabled the accused to escape from the police, who were focused on avoiding the attacks from the canines. However, the dogs were subdued and over 17 kilograms of ganja was seized from the site. Shifting our focus now, political activists from Pakistan-occupied Kashmir have raised slogans outside the United Nations Human Rights Council in Geneva, calling for Islamabad to vacate Kashmir and allow them to live peacefully. These activists participated in a protest organized by the United Kashmir People's National Party during the 54th session of the UNHRC. Nasir Aziz Khan, UK PNP spokesperson, stated that people in Gilgit-Baltistan have been protesting against inflation and terrorism for several months. The protest also saw the participation of Pashtuns, Sindhi, Baloch and other activists from Bangladesh who jointly condemned extremism and terrorism. Now, in recent events, a group of political activists in Muzaffarabad, the capital of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, faced arrests on the 11th of August. They were apprehended for sharing anti-Pakistan content on social media platforms. These activists were subjected to physical abuse while in the custody of a local police station, where they were coerced into denouncing their actions and compelled to share pro-Pakistan statements on social media. Additionally, there have been ongoing protests among the Baloch people in their regions. These protests are primarily directed against Chinese investments, despite high unemployment rates among the local population. Now, do understand that the Baloch community opposes the government's decision to allow the Chinese government to initiate job opportunities and other developmental projects in their areas. Well, that's a wrap up on this edition of the Bulletin. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day ahead.
What happened on 8th June 2022? Sportsperson like Sania Mirza or Saina Nehwal, they get written about more than the women's cricketer.
Journalist, for some reason, doesn't like an athlete. The narrative is very different.